You can be the most desired woman in the room and still feel completely invisible. You're chosen, praised, pursued, yet you go home wondering if anyone actually sees you. Not your face, not your figure, you. That contradiction, that loneliness in the middle of all that attention, it has a name. And today, sis, we're calling it out. Welcome back to Knowing Worth. We've walked through the dark melanin woman's journey. Now we're opening the conversation to her sister. Today we're starting a new series addressing the specific pain of the light melanin woman. And I want to be clear from the jump. This is not a competition. This is not about who has it harder. This is about telling the whole truth. Because pretty privilege is real. And so is the trap hiding inside of it. We've been conditioned to believe that if you're chosen, you're covered. That visibility equals value. But sis, that is the lie. And today we are dismantling it. When you move through the world as a light-skinned black woman, society hands you a particular kind of visibility. You get picked. You get placed at the front. Doors open faster. Smiles come easier. And the world says, she has it easy. What could she possibly have to complain about? But here is what they don't tell you. Visibility is not the same as value. Being chosen is not the same as being cherished. Your presence gets treated like currency. Your personhood stays optional. When people want what you represent more than who you are, you stop being a person and start being a resource. Useful, decorative, strategic. And somewhere in the middle of all that being wanted, you lose the thread back to yourself. The more your aesthetic is valued, the less your soul has room to breathe. Colorism doesn't just wound the dark melanin woman. It distorts the light melanin woman too, just differently. When you become the acceptable face of blackness, you get handed an archetype you never auditioned for. And that archetype comes with rules. Smile. Don't be too loud. Don't have too many needs. Your look already spoke for you, so your voice becomes a disruption. Your struggles get dismissed because your complexion is supposed to mean you don't have any. And the moment you take up space with your mind instead of your face, people get uncomfortable. They expected the image. They didn't sign up for the interior. Sis, that discomfort is information. They were never invested in you. They were invested in the version of you that served them. You were taught that if you stop being useful to look at, you stop being safe. That is not freedom. That is fear dressed up in pretty clothes. And you have been wearing it so long it started to feel like your own skin. Pretty privilege does not cancel out pain. It just makes your pain harder to believe. You carry the weight of being used as a tool of division, a wedge you didn't create and never asked to carry. Caught in the middle, neither fully embraced by the wider world nor fully trusted within your own community. There is a particular grief in being close enough to the standard to be used by it, but never protected by it. Close enough to be let in the door, but never close enough to feel at home. If you don't name that exhaustion, it becomes your identity. You start to believe that performing is surviving, that shrinking is safety. But sis, that was never God's design for your life. You were not created to be a prop in someone else's story. I want to leave you with 3 wisdom pearls. 1, radical transparency. The trap wants you to hide your struggle to protect the image. Break the trap by being vocal about your humanity. Your value is not in being flawless. It is in being real. Speak your truth and you filter out everyone who only wanted your shadow. 2, decouple beauty from safety. Looking a certain way does not keep you safe. Real safety comes from a grounded identity that does not shift when the trends do. Do not trade your voice for a seat at a table that only wants you for the centerpiece. You were made to be more than decorative. 3, anchor in character. Proverbs 31:30 says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. But a woman anchored in who God made her to be, she is the one worth celebrating. Show up with wisdom, kindness, and boundaries. Your face may get you in the door, but your character is what builds the house. Sis, if this reached you today, type inner value in the comments. You are not a brand. You are not a placeholder. You are a woman created on purpose, with a purpose that has nothing to do with how photogenic you are. God is offering a validation that actually fills you, the kind that does not expire when the attention does. Choose the thing that lasts. Grab your free Knowing Worth Affirmations ebook at knowworthsis.net. Be that woman.